Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming along this morning. My name is Megan Waters, and I'm honoured to be with all of you here this morning to launch the 2025 Sir Doug Nicholls Round. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the lands on which we meet today, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I'd also like to pay my respects to all elders, past and present, and also extend that to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who might be joining us in the room this morning, without whom none of this work, this round, and this celebration would be possible. We are here today at the NGV in the Bark Salon with over 150 works. The Bark Salon Works draws connections across time and place, celebrating the depth and scope of bark painting from more than 30 distinct communities. A wonderful space to be having today's launch, and we thank the NGV for hosting us this morning. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to Sir Doug Nicholls' daughter, one of my favourite people in the world, Auntie Pam Pettison, OAM, and of course past players of the game, the great, my brother Chris Johnson, as well as also welcoming all players here today proudly representing their clubs. This year we are celebrating a number of milestone anniversaries. First of all, 2025 marks the 10th anniversary of Sir Doug Nicholls Round, named in honour of proud Yorta Yorta man, Pastor Sir Doug Nicholls, who played in the VFL in the 1930s before becoming a pastor and leader for Aboriginal reconciliation in Australia. He then went on to become the first Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander person to be knighted and hold the position of Governor of South Australia. 2025 also marks the 19th year the League has held a dedicated Indigenous round, as well as 20 years since the Indigenous Team of the Century was named, and the 30th anniversary of the establishment of the Peak Rule, formerly known as Rule 30. That marked a very significant step in combating racism, discrimination, and vilification in Australian sport. This year's Sir Doug Nicholls Round theme is Past Legacies, Future Legends, honouring the significance of 3 anniversaries in 2025, while celebrating the significant contributions Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have made to our great game and will continue to make well into the future. Once again, all 18 AFL clubs will wear specially designed Indigenous Guernseys across the round, as you can see represented here today by the 9 clubs present today. A third of all clubs will change their names to translations in traditional owners' language. From the Victorian teams here today, Melbourne will be known as Naarm, which derives from the Woiwurrung language meaning Melbourne, and St Kilda will be known as Yoroyoroke, which is the Bunurong translation for St Kilda. This year's honoree is West Australian great, Australian Football Hall of Famer and Indigenous Team of the Century member, Stephen Michael, who is currently in Darwin up on Larrakia country today at the launch there, ahead of the first Sir Doug Nicholls Round game this Thursday night. Stephen Michael is the 7th person to be named as an honoree during Sir Doug Nicholls Round, joining Sonny Murray in 2014, Glenn James OAM in 2023, Bill Dempsey in 2022, Sid Jackson in 2021 and 2020, and Michael Long OAM in 2019, and Graham Polly Farmer in 2018. The Sharon Matchday football for the round was designed by former player and proud Torres Strait Islander man from Sabai-Wyburn Islands, Ben Nabea Davis. Ben now works at the AFL as the Indigenous Talent Program Lead, helping support and shape the next Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander stars of our game. Further, the umpires will wear uniforms celebrating Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures designed by Noongar Wadandi man and AFLW and VFL umpire Joshua James. I would now like to introduce you all to a lady who needs no introduction, Uncle Sir Doug Nicholls' daughter, Auntie Pam Pettison, OAM. Auntie Pam, it's always such a pleasure to see you, and we always get to spend so much time together around these special weeks. But this year in particular, being the 10th year of Sir Doug Nicholls Round, must mean so much to you, having the opportunity to have been celebrating your father's legacy for the last 10 years. What does this year mean for you?
I'd like to say good morning to everyone and thank you so much for coming to the launch today. This round just makes me feel so good, and our family as well. 10 years, my gosh, I've got 10 years older. And here the 10 year for my dad, Pastor Sir Doug Nicholls, the boy from Cumragunja who made it to the White House at Government House in Adelaide, and now the Sir Doug Nicholls Round here, the dream time. And again, the 10-year anniversary. It means such a lot to me. It means a lot to our community. Especially I think about our young children coming along to the MCG to watch the football. It gives them a thrill, and I love our community being together, as well as other people of the public who are coming to watch this significant game, especially for this year being the 10-year anniversary. And I just hope Dad's legacy goes on, because it's really important that this happens and this football game continues for everyone, because it's just a highlight at the MCG when our players, look at our lovely players here today. I love all the Guernseys, they all look so beautiful, and I feel so proud of our boys, because this gives them the opportunity to get together and celebrate and feel good within themselves, because they're running out on that ground. This is the Sir Doug Nicholls Round, and be proud of wearing these Guernseys, and also the stories that have been told by some of the people to put this together. So this makes them feel proud. I feel proud. I feel proud for our community and everyone. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Auntie Pam. Always so special when we hear Auntie Pam speak. And I know that I could have asked 100 more questions and she could have continued on sharing her beautiful wisdom with us. But I would now like to welcome up my brother, great man, Chris Johnson, 3-time premiership player for the Brisbane Lions. Now, Jono, this is the 20th year and the 20th anniversary since the Indigenous team of the century was announced. What did it mean to you to be named in that round, and how amazing is it to see how much our culture has been able to be celebrated over the years, and particularly the last 10 years as well?
Yeah, thanks, Megs, and it was quite an honour. 20 years ago seems such a long time. I feel so old now. But to be able to be named in that team, it was an honour not just for me, but for my family as well. You know, I'm not too sure if they named a team today, whether I'd be in it, running around with these guys, the likes of Bobby Hill. I don't think I'd be able to catch you, brother. But look, it was a great honour to be named next to some of the greats of the game. You know, Michael McLean was in there as well. But for myself, you know, it goes a long, long way in terms of, you know, my respect and everything for the game. And I think Sir Doug Nicholls Round, when I first started, you know, it was only one game that was celebrated, which was Richmond and Essendon at Dreamtime at the G, and then towards the back end of my career, we started getting the Aboriginal flags on the ground. But now it's so great the way the clubs embrace it, and the AFL has embraced it, where every club gets to design a jumper, and they look fantastic. I think that's the long way it's come, and I'm so privileged to be named in that side with some of the great legends.
Thank you so much, Jono. Of course, we've got some of the great young and up-and-coming players of the league with us today, but the inspiration that is drawn nowadays from the great legends of the past, I'm sure a lot of these guys wouldn't be the players that they were and that they are today without that inspiration. So I might hand the mics along and get each of you to just answer. You don't have to talk too long, I promise, but I do want to just ask each of you what it means to you to run out in these Guernseys representing your families, your culture, but also I'd love, given the theme is past legends, each of your icons from the past. I'm going to start with you, Brad.
Yes, obviously, as Donna touched on before, how much it's grown over the last, I've been in the system 14 years, and how much all the clubs are, getting involved in Indigenous Round, and it's always great to show a culture to to everyone across Australia, and especially like your teammates and stuff that don't know too much. So yeah, very privileged to be a part of this, and you know, designing people there designed this, and he actually hand painted it all first, and then he got put on the jumper. So it's pretty amazing work from him, and you know, his inspiration was his pop, and his pop was obviously a very special person to him, and that's what led me to a bit of painting this year. And yeah, I love the jumper. And yeah, growing up, probably I was a West Coast fan, so younger days I still loved watching people cheer along the wing, and yeah, as I got older, probably Cyril and Buddy on my idols.
Yeah, I would just touch on that. Mine's Cyril. Obviously watched him before the grand final in 2023. So yeah, he was my favourite player, and yeah, it was obviously this game was one game I always got on the calendar to work on with mate. So yeah, it's very honourable.
Yeah, like the other two boys, it's a great opportunity to represent your family and where you're from to run out on the weekend and play in this game. So it's a yeah, like Bobby said, it's a very special week in the calendar. But growing up, one of my favourites was the Big Blood. And luckily enough, in his last Indigenous game, I got to get his jersey, he signed it for me. So that'll be hanging up on my wall probably for the rest of my life, which is pretty special.
Just the same as the boys, such a privilege to be able to put on this community, even though I won't be playing. Just to represent our family culture and just to share it with the non-Indigenous teammates and just the broader AFL community. My favourite player growing up would have been David Jarvie, just a freak.
Yeah, so this weekend's a special round for all of us Indigenous people to still celebrate our culture. So I'm really grateful to go out there this weekend and go to high school. And my favourite player growing up was Andrew McAdam.
Thanks, boys. Really put you on the spot here. Thank you so much for sharing. Artie?
Yeah, I think this is everyone's favourite round. I can speak on behalf of us. Like, we all love this round, just to express our culture. But yeah, I think I'm very honoured to represent my family, my little mob, my little clan. But I think my favourite player of growing up was Cyril, but also Uncle Ian Cracker.
Yeah, I think it's obviously special being able to, I guess, put a story into art and then being able to represent it with 22 of your teammates. So it's very special for all of us, and my favourite player would have been able to do.
Yeah, it's definitely a privilege, sharing this knowledge and culture with the other teammates, and even the staff as well. We're pretty new to the club, so yeah, very privileged to do that on behalf of the club. And my favourite player, without being biased from Dad, would probably be Sil.
Yeah, for me personally, being able to design this community with my pop and dad, it was just the proudest moment I've ever had in footy. So to be able to pass those stories on to the boys at the footy club, yeah, it's been very special, and I can't wait to wear it next week. And then, like the other boys, Cyril, Buddy.
Thanks, Ben. Thank you so much, guys. So special to hear from each of you, and congratulations to all of you as well for being up here representing your mobs, and also to you, Ryan. I know how special it has been this year for you to design that Guernsey. So really is such a special round for us as First Nations people, being able to run out there and carry your culture on your back with so much pride. So we're really looking forward to a couple of great weeks of Sir Doug Nicholls Rounds. That's it from me for now. We are going to break away for some photos and I think some interview opportunities as well. But thank you so much for coming down this morning, and have a gorgeous day.